You did it. You saved and invested until you finally hit that massive milestone, your $1,000,000 portfolio. But now comes the hardest part of the entire financial journey. How do you actually pull the plug, quit your job, and live off your investments without the constant fear of running out of money? My friend Dave hit his financial independence number last year, but he was completely paralyzed by the idea of giving up his biweekly paycheck. He'd spent decades in the accumulation phase, building his wealth step by step. The thought of shifting into the withdrawal phase felt completely unnatural to him. I sat down with Dave and explained the golden framework of early retirement. It is known as the 4% rule. The rule originates from something called the Trinity Study, where finance professors looked at decades of historical stock market data to answer one simple question. They wanted to know how much money you could withdraw from your portfolio every single year without ever draining your account to zero over a standard retirement period. The math revealed that if you withdraw 4% of your total portfolio in your first year of retirement, and then just adjust that dollar amount for inflation every year after, you are highly unlikely to run out of money. It works because while you are taking out a small slice of your money to live on, the rest of your passive investments are still growing in the background, compounding and generating returns. This rule gives us the magic formula to find out exactly how much money you need to retire. You simply take your annual expenses and multiply them by 25. For example, if you want to live a comfortable life spending $40,000 a year, you multiply $40,000 by 25. That gives you your financial independence number of $1 million. If you want a more luxurious lifestyle with lots of international travel and you need $80,000 a year, your target number becomes $2 million. This is why understanding your true passions is so critical. You do not need to live a life of extreme frugality, but you do need to know exactly what kind of life actually makes you happy. To make the 4% rule work, your money needs to be invested in a low-cost, diversified portfolio of passive index funds. Active trading will only introduce unnecessary risk and stress. Your portfolio also needs the right balance. Most experts suggest holding about 75% in stocks for long-term growth and 25% in bonds to act as a shock absorber. But Dave still had one massive fear. What if the stock market crashes the exact same year he finally quits his job? This is a real threat called sequence of returns risk. If you are forced to sell your stocks while they're down, your portfolio takes permanent damage. The solution is to keep 1 or 2 years of living expenses in cash or short-term bonds. When the market crashes, you spend from your cash buffer instead of selling your stocks at a loss. Another superpower you have in early retirement is flexibility. If the market takes a temporary dive, you can slightly reduce your luxury spending for a few months. Or you can bring in a little side income doing something you genuinely love. When you do not need the money to survive, passion projects suddenly become incredibly fun and low stress. One thing you absolutely must do before pulling the plug is eliminate all your bad debt. High interest payments will eat your 4% withdrawal alive. Even a mortgage is a risk. Entering early retirement with a paid-off house dramatically lowers your required annual expenses, giving your portfolio an enormous margin of safety. Once Dave understood the math, the cash buffer, and the power of flexibility, the fear completely faded away. He realized his money was finally ready to carry him. He handed in his notice last month. The transition from full-time work to total financial independence is scary, but the 4% rule provides the roadmap to do it safely. Run the numbers for yourself, figure out your annual expenses, multiply by 25, and start building your bridge to a life where you control your own time. You can do this.